it appears that the murderer of the United Healthcare CEO was nabbed in Altoona, Pennsylvania. I don't know about you, but this story stinks to high heaven. Oh, they found him with 5 IDs and thousands in cash and the gun. And so he's so brilliant that he's sitting in a McDonald's days after the shooting. He's one of America's most wanted people. He's got all the tools of the crime with him in a McDonald's. And he's sitting there getting recognized by some McDonald's worker and 2 police officers, including a rookie officer from Altoona, Pennsylvania. None of his family turned him in? His parents? His friends? I mean, this is a smart kid, valedictorian, accomplished, popular, social, had a lot of people who knew him. Nobody called the cops when we saw the picture of him flirting with the girl in the New York City hostel? What? This is bizarre. I hate to go all conspiracy theorist on you, but this isn't adding up. The word patsy comes to mind. The word patsy seems to apply. And already, the few remarks he's made, he doesn't know where the cash came from. He claimed that the cops planted that. He apparently had a backpack that was designed to block cell phone, waves or whatever you call it from the cell phone. He said, no, that isn't true. It was waterproof. But look, something about this is weird. They're going to extradite this kid from Pennsylvania to New York, but I'm having a hard time accepting how we know everything about the guy now. Everything. He had back surgery that went awry. He had a beef with the healthcare industry. He hated the healthcare insurance company, the insurance companies. He was this, he was that. Within minutes of his arrest, they found him giving his valedictorian speech at school. They got all these pictures of him. Meanwhile, what about the guy that tried to kill Donald Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania? We don't know anything about him. What about him? What was his story? He nearly assassinated the 47th president, the 45th and the 47th president of the United States. That story's gone. No information. They killed him. It's over. No interest in that guy. But this guy, we know everything about him. We got pictures. We got videos. We've got they've still got, I think his X account is still up. Elon Musk apparently doesn't want to take it down. They started to take it down, but it's still there. And it's fascinating to scroll through his posts because, look, this guy is smart. This guy is super intelligent. He's an Ivy League grad. He's wealthy. He's, got the chiseled body in a McDonald's. I don't know how many people that look like him go eat Big Macs. This is a weird story. And I wonder if you feel the same way I do. 1-800-655-MIKE, 800-655-6453. Something about this stinks to high heaven. It's too convenient. It's all too tidy. And it's the one thing that I can't get over. Nobody in his circle recognized that picture, recognized him from the widely circulated picture. A rookie cop in Altoona, Pennsylvania recognizes him, but not his own family. Apparently his family owns a talk radio station, I think in Baltimore, Maryland. His family's wealthy. I think his mother's a doctor. And the kid is super smart. I say kid, what is he, 26? He is super intelligent. I mean, he's talking about on his social media feed AI and the metamorphosis of the physiology of the human condition. I mean, this kid is really smart. So I don't know. I got to turn it over to you. You think he acted alone? You think he had any help? You think he pulled this off all by himself because of his back problems? Well, we now know that the Luigi Mangione, the suspect in the murder of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, is evidently an incel. I had to ask Christian on our team, what exactly does an incel mean? Not like he's got experience in that, but apparently an incel is described, it's like a social media term or an internet term, somebody who is a young man who is involuntarily celibate. Apparently, this guy had a back problem, and the back problem kept him from having sexual relations. And that's why he was mad at the healthcare insurance industry. Here's a former roommate of the alleged assassin, somebody named R.J. Martin, getting into details with CNN.
I remember he said he had a back issue and he was hoping to get stronger in Hawaii. So he's always focused on trying. When he first came, he went on a surf lesson with other members, and unfortunately, just a basic surf lesson, he was in bed for about a week. We had to get a different bed for him that was more firm, and I know it was really traumatic and difficult. You know, when you're in your early 20s and you can't, do some basic things, it can be really, really difficult.
Yeah, it can be very difficult, and that could lead you to getting a gun and creeping up behind a beloved father and husband and pumping bullets into his back because you got, back pain. They caught him yesterday. He had the manifesto, the gun, the same clothes he's been wearing evidently all week. Just like that, presto. So we're supposed to believe all that. You buying all this? I'm going to get chided for being a wild-eyed conspiracy theorist, but I want to get this straight. We're supposed to believe that this hitman, this killer, was caught 5 days after the murder, still wearing the same clothes from the crime scene, still with the murder weapon, and a written manifesto, and cash, multiple fake IDs, all while chilling at McDonald's. Just like it's another day. Somebody described this as the most cartoonishly convenient arrest in history. Did you see the first report about how something to do with he used a fake ID in McDonald's? What do you need an ID in McDonald's for? Who uses an ID at McDonald's? Look, I've been to every McDonald's in America 3 times each. I've never had to present my ID. I'm on a first-name basis with every worker in McDonald's everywhere in America. They don't ask for your ID. For what? And, somebody in the McDonald's recognized the backpack. Wait a minute, I thought they found the backpack in Central Park, back in New York City. So is this guy a patsy, or is he just the world's stupidest criminal? Oh, he took his mask down to flirt with the girl in the hostel. Oh, look at his shining his big pearly whites at the girl behind the counter. Oh, that's how they got him. And I have to say, I am a big supporter of law enforcement. They're claiming that he wasn't even on their radar until they got the call from McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania yesterday. So wait a minute. That picture of him that went worldwide didn't spark any flicker of recognition from his family, his wealthy, privileged family. Apparently they own a radio station. They're very wealthy. The mother's a doctor or something. I mean, he's got an Ivy League education. He's popular. He was the school valedictorian, and nobody in his school recognized him. Nobody. You saw the picture everywhere with that big smile, real clear shot of his face, right? And nobody apparently recognized him until some guys that get together at McDonald's every day, one of the men in the group said, that looks like the shooter. And then they called the police, and the Altoona police show up. And the rookie cop says, well, that looks like the shooter. And then they asked him, hey, Luigi, have you been to New York recently? Oh, and then he got nervous, and then he started trembling. That's our shooter. And look what he's got on him. Look, he's got a gun. Oh, my goodness, he's got the manifesto where he expressed admiration for the Unabomber. Uh-huh. Yep. This doesn't pass the smell test, at least not to me. I can't imagine celebrating the shooting death of this United Healthcare CEO. It's the strangest thing I've ever seen. This former Washington Post reporter, this Taylor, what's her name, she actually said she felt joy. Used the word joy over his death. How do you say that? You felt joy at overseeing a guy brutally gunned down? There's nothing, there ought to be a healthy dialogue and a discussion and a debate about the health insurers and denial of benefits and, premiums. And that doesn't mean you sit around and say, well, I want somebody gunned down. Nobody likes the high cost of groceries. You want the owner of the grocery store or the manager to be assassinated? Who likes to pay taxes? You want the head of the IRS to be shot dead? Do you hear yourself? This was on Piers Morgan, Piers Uncensored. He's talking to this Taylor Lorenz, who was a former writer for the Washington Post. Then she went off to be independent because I don't know if they let her go or she quit or whatever. But now even the platform she was on this week, they've apparently let her go because of comments like this.
I do believe in the sanctity of life, and I think that's why I felt, along with so many other Americans, joy, unfortunately, because it feels like...
Serious?
I mean...
Joy in a man's execution?
Maybe not joy, but certainly not empathy. Because again...
We're watching the footage. How can this make you joyful? This guy's a husband, he's a father, and he's being gunned down in the middle of Manhattan. Why does that make you joyful?
Thousands of Americans that he murdered. So are the tens of thousands of Americans, innocent Americans, who died because greedy health insurance executives like this one push policies of denying care to the most vulnerable people. And the many millions of Americans that have watched people that I care about suffer and in some cases die because of lack of health care.
So should they all be killed then? Should they all be killed, these healthcare executives? Would that make you even more joyful?
No, that would not.
Well, why not?
And,
why are you laughing?
I think because it wouldn't fix the system.
You seem to find the whole thing hilarious.
I find your question funny.
A bloke's been murdered in the street. I don't find it funny at all.
I don't find it funny that tens of thousands of Americans die every year and because they are denied life-saving health care from people like the CEO.
I don't doubt that young woman is a smart lady. She's been, an accomplished journalist. I'm sure makes a lot of money. How could somebody ostensibly that smart say something so cruel and so vicious?